historical document was discovered on a building site near here. Fortunately, the labourer who found it was a graduate of our university, and he recognized it for what it was. It's a letter. And it's headed, "The Far Coolins, Isle of Skye, 24th October, 1746. And it's addressed to the chairman, Scottish Jacobite Party, Hanover Street, Edinburgh. And it reads, "Dear Sir, the name Flora MacDonald may not mean anything to you, but it does to me because it's my name. I have always been a loyal supporter of Prince Charlie and the Jacobite cause. Not anymore. What a man that is. What a man for the drink. When he staggered into my house after Culloden, he was stinking wheat. No wonder the lost. It'll be a different story now that Ali MacLeod's the manager." But it's fit happened after Culloden that I'm complaining about. There was I, ready for my bed, filling my warming pan, but a knock comes to the door. I gangs to the door, and here's this bloke looking like David Niven without his tash. Well, my cottage is 20 miles from the nearest village. Beggars can't be choosers, so I says, "Come in." Come in, it's nice to see you. How's yourself? You're looking grand." And he says, "I'm nae Andy Stewart, I'm Charlie Stewart." "Charlie Stewart, the young pretender." I says, "The young pretender, you're macking on." But no, he wasn't. He says, "I'm fleeing." I says, "It's just as well you get nothing to drink here." And then he explained that after Culloden, he had made a strategic withdrawal, running for his life down the west coast. And now he wanted to get across the Skye, and he needed a disguise. And he says, "You must lend me some of your women's clothing." I thought, kinky. However, I dug out some of my old clothes, and in no time at all, with him dressed up as a wifey and looking like Stanley Baxter. And then we got into yon wee boatie. Oh, yon was purgatory. Goodness, there's nothing worse than a person being seasick, unless it's two persons being seasick. And as if that wasn't bad enough, the water started coming in over the boat. So what did our lad that is born to be king do? He would let the water out. By removing the cork from the bottom of the boat. As we sank beneath the foaming brine, I directed towards him a volley, I regret to say, of unpatriotic vituperation. "Bonnie Prince Charlie," I said. "You're nae bonnie, you're nae a prince, but what a bloody Charlie."
I have a recurring nightmare. It has a Scottish theme. Permit me to enumerate the terrible things I dream. The rowan tree had woodworm, the rashes werena green, and the bonny Earl of Murray had a face like Frankenstein, a face like Frankenstein. Maxwelton Braes are ugly, Loch Lomond isna pure, and as for Afton Water, it's just an open sewer. Robert the Bruce was English, I much regret to say. Wallace was a traitor, and Robbie Burns was gay. And Robbie Burns was gay. David Wilkie's feared water, typical I would say, for Scotland's sporting heroes have all got feet of clay. Danny McGrain is German, would anyone have guessed? And as for Jackie Stewart, he didna pass his test. He didna pass his test. Sir Alexander Fleming couldna cure a cough, and Lena Zavaroni is an octogenarian dwarf. The famous Clydeside shipyards never launched a boat. Hugh Fraser's on social security, and so is Ian Sproat, and so is Ian Sproat. The moderator's Catholic, a rabid Celtic fan. Keir Hardie voted Tory, and Lulu is a man. My nightmare has convinced me that Scotland's not so hot. When folks sing Scotland the Brave, I sing Scotland the what?
Hello, Mr. Taylor.
Hello, Mr. Wallace.
Aye.
Aye. That's a hell of a steer of folk.
Oh, it's real busy, I will say.
You can hardly get moved.
Aye, it's pretty crowded.
Pretty crowded. It's hell of a crowded. Of course, it's how you say on a Thursday night, late night shopping.
This is true. This is true.
Well, the last time I was at Pittodrie, I was at the beach end at the Celtic match. Was the half as crowded as this place?
I'll bet it was there.
I couldn't get near the cooked foods.
Is your cooked foods at Pittodrie?
Here.
Oh, Ken. But have you tried the bakery counter? The bakery counter's just seasoned.
I can, it's bad there and all, but it's nae as bad as the cooked foods.
Oh, then I can.
Well, I've got my loaf and my softies,
Oh,
but I couldn't get near the cooked foods, could I?
well.
I dinna ken for the missus has got them. She went to what? The fruit counter. For 2 or 3 green peppers and an aubergine. And half a dozen avocado plums.
Oh, it's far. My wife went to Lana for a pun of cooking apples. They must have just made up. They'll just be stunning specking.
Oh, specking about nothing at all. And getting in folks' road with their trolleys. Watch it.
Watch it. Feel all wifey.
I see fairy liquids up again.
You didn't come here for your fairy liquid, did you?
Huh?
Oh, no, you've to shop around a bit. That's a way to make savings. Oh, I comes here for my penguins and my bandits. But I gangs to Coopers for my fairy liquid. Gangs to Pick and Save for my fish fingers. Fine fare for my bacon. Grand fare for my sugar and tea. En uit de asda voor mijn cornflakes. En then van hem uit het asda had voor een get met petrol. Cause that's for petrol cheapest.
Well, it would need to be. You've used that tank of petrol getting out there.
Oh, I never thought of that. No.
Ah, well, you see. Tell me,
Aye.
have you ever gone to the copy for anything?
Oh, aye, sweeties and lemonade and Coca-Cola.
Huh? Oh, Coca-Cola.
Aye.
I thought you said coal. I thought you said coal. Well, I've told you before. I would never go to the copy for coal.
Oh, I can.
We used to get our coal for the copy.
Aye.
A disaster.
Okay.
Disaster.
Aye.
Well, the coal was wheat.
Oh, it is disappointing that too. Mind you, of course, you should have got the shell bottle.
We did get a shell bottle. It was wheater than any of them. I'll tell you for wheat it was. We'd have put half a load in the spin dryer.
Oh, gee, I just wait that too.
Well, it didn't do our sheets any good.
No, I'll bet it didn't.
Here,
Aye.
do you ever get the feeling we've been here before?
Well, it's possible I come here most Thursday nights. 'Cause it's late night shopping, you see. If you come on a Wednesday, the shop's closed. Usually, I mean, it's coming on a Wednesday and it was open, but that was 'cause it was Hogmanay. That was the reason.
Aha, but was it? I mean, was it open on the Wednesday because it was Hogmanay? Or because the next day, the Thursday, was New Year's Day and it was going to be closed?
Huh?
Well, put it this way. If the Thursday hadn't have been New Year's Day, would this place still have been open on the Wednesday just because it was Hogmanay?
I didn't know anything about that kind of thing.
I'll tell you one good thing about late night shopping. You see a lot of folk you can. I've just seen Charlie and Betty Ironside.
Of course, Hogmanay sometimes lands on a Sunday.
I said, I've just seen Charlie and Betty Ironside, out aside the cat foods.
Oh, they got a cat, though. I thought they had a dog.
They have got a dog, but they feed it on cat food. It's cheaper.
Are you allowed to do that?
Allowed to defeat.
Feed cat food that dog.
Well, it's our act as long as the dog doesn't tell anybody. Like phoning up a cruelty.
They shouldn't have come here for their cat food anyway. It's much cheaper at Pet's Pantry. I can sit to Pet's Pantry and Mama you does that.
But have you got any pets?
No. It just likes the bargains.
Tell me, is Pet's Pantry only good for budgie seat?
Oh, aye. But did you nail lost your budgie?
Oh, aye. We lost our budgie the next to the big blitz.
I thought that now.
But we got a new one.
Oh,
We got a new one 2 weeks ago. For a place out at Turfens.
was it delivered?
No, it wasn't delivered. It was hatched. You see, you didn't deliver budgies. A budgie's a bird.
That's enough a lot of toilet rolls you've got there, Mr. Taylor. But he's fine.
Oh, I wear a rack. But the budgie's a bit seedy.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Look, I'd better go and find Mrs. Taylor before she buys up a whole shop.
Aye, well, but you'll need to come round some night, you and Mrs. Taylor.
Well, that would be fine, but I'll phone you, okay?
Aye, Okay, I have news.
Aye, there must be a lot to catch up on.
We'll just sit round a fire and hear a few laughs. Mind you, he isn't much a sense of humour, Mr. Taylor.
Good evening. And it's over now, live to Aberdeen, where they've been having local elections. And in one ward, the votes of 12 American residents were enough to elect their own candidate, who is now running for Lord Provost of the city.
My name is Jimmy Carter. And I'm running for provost. Friends, I believe in this great city of Aberdeen. I've spent the last 4 months putting America in order. Aberdeen will take a little longer. Friends and fellow Carters, the American Declaration of Independence was written 200 years ago at a time when George Washington had just begun what was to become the greatest and the best ice cream soda fountain at the beach. Next to the Inversnecky. In that same year, Aberdeen's own constitution was written, known as the Corporation Bylaws. And I quote one of its fundamental principles, subsection 2:1, every citizen, whatever his race, creed, or color, shall own a bucket. Friends, I believe in the buckets of this city. Because the buckets of this city are a symbol of a city that casts out its garbage and holds unto itself only that which is clean and pure. Friends, last night, as I was walking the granite moonlit streets, I heard the clock of the West Church St. Nicholas a chiming out 12 times. And I fell to thinking, must be about 9 o'clock. And back home in Plains, Georgia, my mother, Miss Lillian Carter, she was putting out her bucket. Stupid old fool, it's the middle of the afternoon there. Friends, my main concern
is for the deprived and the underprivileged citizens of my own ward, Rubesland. And so I pledge myself that every house in Rubesland will have an inside John. I dedicate myself to getting the roads sanded within 3 days of the snow falling. I commit myself to widening Union Street to a dual carriageway and widening Georgia Street to a single carriageway. As leader of Aberdeen District, I will pursue a policy of détente with the other great superpower, Grampian Region, and their convener, Chairman Much. For district and region must live together in peace and harmony. They must love each other. They must respect each other. They must trust each other, no matter how crooked the region may be. Turning now to the main issue of this campaign, I believe the chairs in the new townhouse must be appropriate to the dignity of the councillors. And so to buy these chairs, I will reopen Cocky Hunters. I will protect the interests of minority groups, such as the Noco House Preservation Society, the Clayban Madrigal Society, the Friends of Mount Holy Roundabout, the Teetotalers section of the British Legion. Friends, I believe in the people of this city, the folk of this city, because the folk of this city are good folk, honest folk, caring folk, loving folk and sharing folk, folk from Constitution Street and folk from Root Law Den. I love you all. Thank you.
Fish porters Victory. We're here in Spain on our holidays, and we're most hell of a sorry we ever left Walker Road. Gaily from Dice we departed. Here we were soon broken-hearted. Our hotel had never been started. That was the first bitter blow. On to the Hotel Cardoma, winna be complete till October. Twa blokes are deemed as a homer. We had to gang somewhere else. On to the Hotel del Swanco, Pride of the Costa del Blanco, opened by General Franco. Our first night there it fell down.
I'm nae the kind for complaining, but here in the Mediterranean, each day bar one it's been raining.
That was the day we had saw. Then as the weather grew hotter,
We all drank on vile water. Next morning, all water soda. Aberdeen needing the low.
I was the last in the queue. Hey!
Much worse than any of this is. We'll travel firms out of business. We're stranded here until Christmas. We'll nae see Tory again. Oh, for a seat on a plane. Let's get the hell out of Spain. Ole!
I suppose it can only be regarded as one of the more unfortunate incidents in this year's amateur drama festival that the record of Grieg's Peer Gynt Suite was broken during the dress rehearsal. Because quite honestly, the ethos of Ibsen's play wasn't wholly captured by the only other record available, Jimmy Sham's Hogmanay Party. Next, the Gardenston Thespians production of O Calcutta. Or to give it their own subtitle, The Dirtiest Show in Banff and Buchan. Come on now, Gardenston. You can be dirtier than that. So then, to the final entry, the Crathy Parish Church Amateur Dramatic Club's offering of Othello, or as it was pronounced during the entire course of the evening, Oh Hello. Whether this was a suitable choice of play for an all-female society is somewhat open to question. For instance, I did have a wee qualm, just the whisper of a doubt, about the wisdom of casting Mrs. Mackintosh, the minister's wife, as Othello, simply on the strength of her admittedly very striking resemblance to General Idi Amin. In one of his more murderous postures. As for Desdemona, well, I hesitate to suggest that Granny Thompson from the sweetie shop was miscast in this part. I agree she's a very young-looking 75. But, you know, I did find it just a little bit difficult to accept that she and Mrs. Mackintosh were actually husband and wife. Not quite enough passion in the embraces, not enough conviction in the clinches somehow. Not Granny's fault. She did get her teeth into the part. Just a pity she hadn't kept them in her mouth where they belong. I must pass over the rest of the cast for the sake of brevity and charity and move on to the producer, who deserves a meed of praise for his unusual interpretation. It's the first time I've seen Othello played for laughs. An unusual touch, too, was the inclusion of the specially composed musical numbers. For instance, the jolly singing of the bothy ballad in Desdemona's death scene, soon had everybody's feet tapping, including the deceased Desdemona. And cheered us all up no end. A word about the splendid diction of Miss Eileen Webster, the prompter. Eileen could be heard right at the back of the hall, and she deserves a very special pat on the back, fairly low down. A word also about the stage manager, who was undoubtedly the best I've ever seen, and I saw him at least 6 times. These are but minor quibbles, however, the churlish strictures of a cynical old pro. By and large, this is a production which will not be readily forgotten, which is more than can be said for most of Othello's lines and practically all of Desdemona's. So then, to the Crathy Parish Church goes the June Imrie tankard, and to Granny Thompson for her magnificent portrayal of Desdemona, the individual award, which this year is an autographed photograph of that other grand old lady of broadcasting, Howard M. Lockhart.
To Bide a War, a tune that lies at the very heart of Scottish traditional music making. But did you know, ladies and gentlemen, that this tune, so well known to you all, was used by some of the world's greatest composers? Take Tchaikovsky. Even the great Beethoven himself. and finally Mozart pinched it.
My Lord Provost, Chairman of Governors, Reverend Sir, Headmaster and Masters, parents, boys of a school, janitor. Now, it's a great pleasure and privilege for you to hear me here today at this, your annual prize giving, to present the prize winners with their prizes. But before doing so, perhaps I might be allowed to vouchsafe a few words of advice, mined from the harvest fields of my own experience. Now, we've all went to the school. But some of us has went longer than others. But I regret to say I was not one. I left the school early, usually about 3 o'clock, being excused arithmetic on religious grounds. And I went straight from school to the university. But my university, boys, was the university of life. Necessity, my teacher, my classroom, the gutter. From which it has been a long road, not without squalls and laden with hurdles, which I have had to plough. Before breasting the tape of success, achieving my goal, and been asked along here this afternoon. And what a rare afternoon it's been. The choir's rendering of the Sky Boat song gets better every year. Though I did think the retiral of Miss Nicholson, the botany mistress, had left the choir somewhat short of baritones. A great character, Miss Nicholson. Knickers, as the boys called her. Inaccurately, the headmaster tells me. The headmaster's own report on the year's activities was a topper, and I was delighted to hear the silence with which it was received with. Very gratifying to hear that the school is in such good heart. Much better heart, if you ask me, than the school I've sent my two loans to, Fettes College, Edinburgh. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, there are boys leaving Fettes College today who don't even have a trade? This is the Edinburgh Evening News for July 17th. City and Guilds examination results in plumbing, joinery and butchery. Not a single Fettes boy in the pass list. And only one Loretto. But now, to the main business of the afternoon, the presentation of the prizes to the cleverings. But to the many boys here today who will not receive a prize, I would say this. I never won a prize in my life. But outside the door of this hall, there stands a gleaming Rolls Royce. And do you know who that belongs to, boys? It belongs to me. And it carries me between the biggest house in this city and the biggest mealy pudding factory in this city. So you see, I have got all that is best out of this life, not by being a brilliant scholar, but by observing a few simple, homespun rules. Never trust nobody. Never share nothing, or you'll never get nowhere. This, boys, is the things to remember when you have forgot every word of Rembrandt you was ever learned. Now to the presentation. The headmaster will hand over the books as I shout out the names. Now the first prize for primary 1A is David Copperfield. Come away up, David. The year is 1314, and Mr. Robertson is a spider. But it is now 2 days after Bannockburn.
Land beside river, land my endeavour, land my heart forever. Scotland, oh, I'm chuffed. Oh, I feel wrecked proud. After all these years of failure, try again. I'm a first spider. If I have one fixable. What else is on the paper today, eh? Great Scottish victory, it says. Bannockburn special by Ulster MacDonald. Oh, this'll be good, this, eh? Oh, me! Oh, there's a picture of a man with a spear sticking out of him and bleed away. Oh, it's horrible, that, eh? Oh, and here's another in with his head off. Oh, it'll be fixed the heat next week. What's Ulster saying about it, though, eh? At Bannockburn Stadium today, an under-strength Scottish army went to town against their more fancied opponents. He doesn't pull any punches, Ulster, does he? After the debacle, England team manager, King Edward II, told reporters, I am dissatisfied with my squad's performance, and there will have to be changes in the lineup before 100 years' war. The English team boss criticised the Scottish army for poor sportsmanship, including time wasting and bad language. The bloody chick. At this, Scottish Supremo Robert de Bruce lashed out, didn't blame him, and in so doing, took off a leg the English trainer. Oh, God's sake, that's horrible.
Easy, we are the people.
For me, it's Brucey didn't do well. Dear Robert, I've just been reading about you.
I'm afraid it was a famous victory. And now the Bannockburn runs swollen with English bleed.
Oh, then you start for honest sake.
3-1 was the score, and England's goal was a penalty.
Oh, but I dealt you with the wheel now, didn't I, Robert?
Did you did.
Yes.
For all you've done for Scotland, I'm here to invite you to booze up the committee rooms a wicked Tuesday. 7 for 7:30, bar open 3 p.m.
Oh, but Tuesday's not a good night for me. Tuesday against an evening class. Advanced spinning and weaving.
Well, what next would suit you?
I will consult my diary, the Arachnids Almanac. Well, now, on Monday, I've got my missions.
I didn't care there was a lodge for spiders.
Oh, well, we just ging in with the slaters.
Well, what about Wednesday?
Wednesday? Oh, I've got a beetle drive. Friday? No, what have I got on a Friday? Oh, I've got my dancing.
You're dancing?
Yaska? No, I've got a special dancing class for spiders.
What's special about a dancing class for spiders?
You only need one couple for an item reel.
So you enjoy Scottish dancing?
Oh, I enjoy that tarantula.
Nah. You mean a tarantella. You wouldn't enjoy a tarantula. That's an exotic black widow for South America.
That's right, I enjoy that tarantula.
Well, it looks as if you're all booked up next week.
Aye.
And the week after that, I'm away myself.
Oh.
Aye.
Uh-huh.
I'm due over the border into England for a bit of pillage and rape.
Oh, very nice. Of course, it's a trade sport now.
Well, now, seeing you kind of manage the booze up, a grateful nation would wish you to have some tangible reward.
Oh, uh-huh.
What would you like out of this clubby book?
Oh. Very nice.
I mean, would you like something for your larder?
Oh.
What about some flies?
Oh, I've plenty flies, though. No. I mean, I've got household flies. I've got horse flies. I've got dragon flies.
Have you got green flies?
Oh, well, no. It just depends which suit I'm wearing.
Now, my friend, I must walk.
Uh-huh.
I've a long way to go through the mist and the rain.
Oh, it's raining. Oh, me. That means somebody's squashed into my chums.
And now, as the sun sets on this great victory, a new dawn breaks for Scotland.
Oh, you're for devolution, are you?
I'm nae sure.
Oh, Robert de Bruce's, I don't know. Well, you better not tell Margot MacDonald about it, or you'll get your head in your hands. Mm-hmm.
But what I want you to tell me now is,
Aye.
are you for devolution?
Oh, of course, I am pro-devolutionist.
Well, but are you sure Scotland's ready for it?
Oh, why? Have you near heard? But they've discovered I've beat their head.
And the sea?
Oh, no. Nae in the sea. That's just a buckle of fish in the sea. No, on the other side. Run a bit on me and Mentla.
What have they discovered?
That is.
Tatties?
Aye, that is. Vast deposits at tatties.
But fars tatties are they?
They're Scotland's tatties.
Scotland's tatties?
Aye.
You mean we can tell the Arabs fit to do with their tatties?
Well, him mere tatties and the Jews and the Arabs put together.
I'm afraid in years to come, folk will sing about Scotland's tatties.
That's right.
Aye. I can hear it now.
Oh, I can hear it now. The tatties of Scotland. Sung by the Rubeslaw Corries.
The tatties of Scotland, how proudly grow. The tatty shows the Scotland's tatties, untouched by English laws, they're very tasty. With beef or pork, Kerspink, King Edward, or Duke of York. mashed or sauté. The Scottish tawty tax the cake. But what of the stovies your mammy used to make, or else we boil them? But take it for me, if you're no careful, they're through the breeze.
To you, a word of thanks for your support through thick and thin. We feel we're getting past it now. It's time we packed it in. Steve can hardly mind his lines,
And George could never sing. Next week I'm being admitted to a bed in Glenburn Wing.
so it's thanks to the city folk, country folk and city folk, folk that laughed a lot and folk that didn't laugh at all. Big folk, nig folk, little folk and spittle folk. Thanks for your support, but now it's time we were a war.